A few months ago, I would have been able to recommend a game to you. I would have asked you, hey, do you like the idea of being an overpowered burglar capable of directly sneaking in front of people like Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1 and mow down enemies like it's motherfucking Dynasty Warriors? You would have probably asked me what this game was about at this point, and I would calmly explain some different heists, some different missions to you, and commend the game's customization and gunplay. Now this is where you might start to get a bit interesting, and right here is where I lay down the smackdown. It's a co-op driven experience. We can play it together, and it's on sale right now for only like $165. Come on, let's go! And we would fly together into the game and enjoy it immensely. But that was then. Even then, I would have the awkward moment when I had to explain why there was over $100 in DLC, and that it wasn't mandatory? Not really. I mean, sure, you're missing out on everything the game has to offer if you don't have it, like Molotovs, walking sticks, and huge maps and missions and... Wait. Hold on a minute, I would say, trying to collect my thoughts in the situation, and then trying to explain how the model has sustained Payday 2 for years, keeping food on the table for the poor game devs. You see, the poor game devs, namely Overkill Studios, have a bit of a reputation. Being a Swede myself, I have followed their progress in the shadows over the years, ever since Payday the Heist in 2011. In 2012, the company was acquired by another Swedish studio, namely Starbreeze. Brilliant, I thought. I love Starbreeze. They don't make bad games, and now they have Overkill. They're gonna make something special this time around. I can feel it. This seemed to kick things off for Overkill, and it was shortly after I tried the Payday 2 beta. Oh, what joy! Oh, what fun! The development was a magical journey, as we saw major changes in how the system operated, depending on player feedback. Suddenly, it was everything we wanted the last game to be. There were talents, customizable weapons, map planning before the mission, total stealth levels, clear class differentiations, big banks, small banks, art theft, meth cooking, bag tossing, breakout missions, jewelry theft, stealing candy from kids, and yes, the most heinous crime of them all, holding the consumer hostage and demanding it pays its own ransom. The company started to change come 2015. It was slow, we saw the warning signs, but we didn't see the full picture. No. Not until it was already too late. On May the 4th, 2015, creative director and co-founder Ulf Andersson left Overkill Studios for specified reasons. He would remain as a consultant on the board and the management team for the next 24 months. Ulf Andersson might not be a name that rings any bells for you, but he is one of the 3 people that founded Overkill Software back in 2009, together with Bo Andersson, I see the similarity here, and Simon Wiklund. On August 18th, 2015, the very mentioned Simon Wiklund left Overkill to focus on his solo music project. If you have played the game, you might know Simon as the voice of Bane. He will continue freelancing as Bane for the time being. Now we have a few key factors of what's to come. The total meltdown of the company. Of the founding fathers, only Bo Andersson truly remains, and the PR person the community knows to ask about everything Overkill and Payday related is Overkill Almir, a producer for Payday 2. People are leaving left, right and center, but the company is still making money, so why leave? On October the 14th, on 4chan, user credited as Lone Wolf had this to say. Inside man here. It's bigger. It's a collaboration. Well, you know all the content is free, right? But Almir is a two-faced madman. We are aware of that. Guess how he plans to make more money with Payday 2? It's bigger than a game. Think about it. How could Overkill make more money than with $5 DLCs? Is it a fucking TF2 CSGO crate thing? A user asks. Lone Wolf replies, yep. Payday 2 will now have weapon skins that have effects in the game. Precisely, they affect damage, accuracy, everything on your weapon. They also come with qualities like TF2 weapons, which means that you can unlock legendary skins for your shitty AMCAR. How do we stop this madman? A user asks. Well, stop believing his bullshit, the wolf replies. Just follow Vlad on Twitter, because he's a cool guy. Almir will suck out your hard-earned money anytime he can. That's why he sold the franchise out to anyone willing to. Now you understand why he took a trip to Valve HQ. I'm not aware of the unlocking drill's price, but it's going to be real money. He also adds, I would hope that the next heist and gauge stuff would come for free, while people pay for the drills and skins only. But I seriously doubt it. A day after, on October the 15th, the now annual event known as Crimefest took place, launching a microtransaction system similar to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This update was received with mixed feelings among the players in the Payday 2 community, says the Wikipedia, but other sources, as I will present to you right now, speak a completely other story. So let's have a quick look at what has people so outraged. After all, the system is just like CSGO, right? This is true, and if it was the entire story, it might not have gotten such a bad reception. Imagine CSGO, if you will. Now, let's say when you buy the game, you get the Dust 2 DLC. You bought the game, and you're already out of pocket. But you got your favorite map, so you're fine. Besides, it wasn't that expensive anyway. You haven't really paid full price of a AAA title yet. But then you want to play another map with your friends. And you get the Mirage DLC. Incendiary grenades? That sounds good on this map. Best get the Fire and Brimstone DLC. Oh man, I can have an AK-47? I didn't even know about this. The ISIS DLC it is then. Now you can get to plant the bomb from time to time. Isn't this fun? But then something happens. You get a random loot crate. And look, you can open it for just over $2. Wait a minute. What's in the loot crate then? So far I've bought all the DLC and they gave me what I wanted, but now you're telling me the loot system is randomized? Well, luckily enough, I don't need fancy coatings on my weapon. What's that? I do? So this time painting the car red does make it go faster. Huh. A yellow shotgun deals more damage than its non-painted counterpart. Well, that seems weird. At this stage, the community could have gone hand in hand into one of three major categories. 1. They pay the price for the random drop, hoping to get the pink rifle that they need to maximize their efficiency. 2. They ignore the new systems and enjoy the game regardless. Or 3. They uninstall the game and scream bloody murder, letting every corner of the internet know their disappointment. So why wasn't the looting system just ignored? Because Overkill pushed it, and they hyped it. This was all announced at Crimefest, when players, after all their hard work, expected to be rewarded. Instead, they were now told if they wanted to be atop of their game, they needed to play lottery and spend endless amounts of money. This was not the free content the community that even is used to paying $5 every month for DLC really had in mind, and can you blame them? There was no way for the situation to just be brushed over, because Overkill kept pushing the limits. It seems that they wanted players to convince their friends that they should probably buy some drills for those loot safes, because they added in an XP and in-game cash multiplier system for guns. And if you don't have this here thing, you know the thing, if you don't have this thing, you're losing out. You're getting less money and experience than you could have. And it's best for you that the entire team has it, including you. So when you're setting up a lobby and someone joins in and he doesn't have the thing, right? Then what's the point for you? Might as well just kick him and wait until you have someone that comes in with the thing. Because damn it, these loot crates are important, you guys. It elevates the game to new heights. So now we've seen step 1 of how to completely alienate your fanbase. Put pay-to-win mechanics in a pay-to-play game. This introduces us to the very concept of what Overkill believe they added to the game out of generosity, and step 2 of how to completely alienate your fanbase. Introduce mandatory content, hide it as being optional, and make the acquisition of mentioned content a crapshot gamble. Remember, unless you have these skins, your gun is now underpowered. If you don't have this boost thing, then you're less of a benefit to your team than someone who does have it. Now, when all else fails, when you can't shoot yourself in the foot just hard enough, you go to step 3. No, stage motherfucking 3 of how to completely alienate your fanbase. Just fucking lie to them! All of this was done in one single swoop, during a time people expected to be rewarded, but they got butt-fucked instead. Now, to explain the lie part, let's head over back to speaking about Almir. After the crash and burn that was Crimefest, Almir was summoned to Reddit and he accepted. He answered a bunch of questions with general PR talk, but the translations of this dialogue were put together by Reddit user The Pash, where he takes what Almir said and translates it into basic English for you. Do remember that this is Almir's attempts to calm the fire, but it doesn't even seem that he is worried about the entire studio burning down. So now we're gonna have some quotes and we're gonna have what Almir said in Almir, and we're gonna translate that to what it means in English. We believe it isn't pay to win, as we balance the game around the base game, not on any DLC you might own or any stat boosts you might have. What it means in English. Because we balanced around the base game, and DLCs you might buy or stat boosts you might pay for merely make it easier to win the game. This clearly is not pay to win. This, of course, is an obvious contradiction. We have a partnership with our partner 505 Games. This was the right decision to do to ensure the stability of Overkill as an independent developer. What it means in English. We are not independent. We are independent. Again, a contradiction. Going forward, we have to talk to you guys more about major changes like this one before we implement them. We have no plans of reversing the system, no. What it means in English. We are going to try to listen to the community from now on. We have no plans of listening to the community, no. He's obviously telling people one thing and doing another. Actions, Almir. They speak louder, for you have shown that your words are less than wind in the same sentence. Stats won't be removed from skins. What it means in English. Fuck you. While the general sentiment here in the subreddit has been negative towards the microtransactions, the numbers speak a different language. Player seems to be loving it. What it means in English. We can't hear you over the sound of all the money we're making. Oh. Now remember what the user Lone Wolf said previously. What Almir said in Almir regarding the question whether microtransactions might make paid DLC go away. That sounds like a fantastic scenario, but it's too early to tell right now. What this means in English? No. What Almir said in Almir regarding veteran players leaving. I can only hope they return in the future. If they don't, I wish them best of luck in the future and hope they have enjoyed their time here. What this means in English. We already have their money, and it's clear they won't be giving us any more. Let's instead focus our efforts on the free weekend players. Thanks, Midget Bullfighter. What Almir said in Almir regarding the no microtransactions promise. At the time, I meant what I said. I never thought we would have had the pleasure of working on Payday 2 for at least another 4 years. What it means in English. I lied. Thanks, Dr. Max 4. In 2013, producer Almir Listo wrote that we made it clear that Payday 2 will have no microtransactions whatsoever, and shame on you if you thought otherwise, on the Steam forums, when players were worried about the abundance of free-to-play games popping up asking for microtransactions. David Goldfarb, also working on Payday 2, replied in the following days regarding microtransactions, no, God, I hope not, never, no. Whereas we don't know how David would have felt about it today, since he left Overkill in 2014, one thing seems evident. Almir lied. Almir has been accused of being a madman, a liar, a money-hungry sack of shit, and two-faced. He spouts contradictions in every weather direction, everyone around him seems to flee fucking ship. He's obviously the rat himself dancing on the tables now that the cats are away. Fuck integrity, fuck promises, and fuck us consumers. I don't even play Payday anymore. I won't even actually ever have to buy a drill, but it was a game that I enjoyed coming back to every now and then. Now, I just don't see the fucking point in it. I'm 15 DLCs behind the line, and I'm 100 loot saves behind the line. But fuck that. That's what you already knew, Almir. I was catching on to your bullshit and I wasn't buying the DLC anymore. So, you need to focus to the new players. All those people who come in after the free weekends, we gotta hook them early. That's why you have so many free weekends right now, isn't it? You just want to make the game free to play at this point, now fucking don't you? Just fucking do it. But you won't, will you? This makes you more money. But you don't care about those people. You don't care about me. You don't want to care about anything. The only thing you care about is motherfucking hard cold cash. And Overkill, I loved your games. I bet the Walking Dead game is gonna be fine, it's gonna be fun. You make good games, with absolutely ridiculous business decisions connected to them, that are incredibly, unbelievably, astonishingly disconnected from your community. Not shame on me, Almir, shame on you, and sincerely, fuck you.
Fuck you, bitch.